Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another episode of Stamp With Me. Be sure to check out everyone else that's collaborating on this series linked down below because you don't want to miss out. And if you guys have been on my channel recently, you might recognize some of these photos because this is actually another page to go with a double page spread I just uploaded. And you know, they don't have the same theme with papers and embellishments at all. So I thought it'd be great to, showcase these ones this week as well. While they're from the same event in the same time, sometimes they don't all need to match, and that's okay. And I couldn't fit all the photos I wanted between the double pages, so this will be another one-off to continue that story. And that story is about our 5-year anniversary date, so this was actually the dinner part, not the beach part that we did. So I had a lot of fun using a page kit from my How to Kill a Kit with Style to pull out this great color scheme. Now with a vibrant color scheme like this one, and again all of these papers in this particular page kit do coordinate, they're from the same collection, but it can be hard to find the right shades to match the rest of the colors in your color scheme through embellishments that don't necessarily match the collection you're working with. So I had to do that with my Kaiser Craft embellishments, with the ones I'd pulled out for my kit, just random stuff all together. And here I'm sampling out the washi tapes I have in my kit to see which ones might work well for this particular page. And what's really nice is I have a couple stamp sets pulled out. I don't use all the ones I've pulled out. I think I used 2 of the 4 that I'd pulled out, because I wasn't sure how everything would end up. But to get started, I'm going to start layering some papers underneath my photos. And like I've mentioned in previous videos on my channel, I'll have all the information you need linked down below, including sourcing some new Black Lives Matters resources for you guys to check out in case you're interested in education or taking action. You can find a new set of links every video from here on out. So I'm going to layer those with some scraps, which include some pinks, and then I also bring in this pop of blue, which again is a scrap. So if you guys have a mega kit like I do for this month, you might find that you get a lot more scraps than you know how to deal with. And this is my answer to it, is just tucking them in wherever I can to bring in additional colors to help complement a recurring color scheme. So through my scraps, I've added 2 different types of pinks, which again match the background, and then also a teal, which actually is from this collection, so it was easy to include. And again, that's a lot of adhesive I'm going through, but these layers can be heavy over time, so I want to make sure that they stay put. The stamping doesn't come until later in this series or in this particular process video, but hopefully you guys will like the ideas I share. And again, don't forget to check out everyone else participating in this episode of Stamp With Me this month. Every time it changes, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can see future Stamp With Me episodes and future scrapbooking process videos and more. So the first stamp set that I definitely want to use is the Ellie Studio food stamp set that I have. I always pull this one out, and this will be the first time I'm actually using the slice of pizza, I'm pretty sure. Despite it being the largest stamp in the set, I definitely haven't used it too many times, if at all, before this page, and we do have pizza involved. And the fact that I've scrapbooked pizza layouts before and I haven't used this stamp is just so sad. So I'm really glad to be pulling it out here. I also pull out 2 more from this specific set, one that says Let's Eat, which includes a fork, and one that says On the Menu. Now this is my only food themed stamp set, so I do find it a little bit redundant to use these, but if you use them in different ways, you can use different colored inks. You could do embossing to give it a different look. You could make your own die cuts like I'll be doing in today's episode. So today I'm using a 1-inch circle punch for that particular one to create a piece of ephemera. Then I'm also going to use this ticket punch from EK Success as well to create another piece of ephemera. Just a custom look. And then here I accidentally got it stuck and then I ripped it, and I still can cut out my pizza, it'll be just fine. So then I'm going to trim out the pizza, and those are the main stamping elements for today's page. Again, I like using stamping as accents. It doesn't necessarily have to be the main event of your layout. It really depends on what you want and how you want your layout to look. So keep that in mind when you think stamping might be too much, or if you think that stamping might be too much of a hassle. It can really add a lot to your page. So since I stamped those on some coordinating yellow pattern paper that match not only my title, which is the tag on the right hand side, but also coordinates with the yellow that is in the collection and therefore in the background here, And I do have this sticker set that matches the Simple Stories collection, which is the Life in Color collection. So I'll be using a lot of the black clear stickers to add some more contrast between my layers. And I'll also be using some of the colored stickers to add a bit more of the pops of color that I'm looking for, because sometimes it can be really hard to find the right balance between your accent color and then your main colors. And I find that when you have something like a clear sticker, you can tuck it in anywhere you'd like to add a bit of extra color. So there I pulled in another punch, and I know this isn't a tool themed episode, but I definitely like when I can showcase my tools and ideas that you guys can use with your tools. So I just punched out a scallop circle to help layer underneath that on the menu sign, only because it was blending into the yellow trim there that's beneath the photo. Here I'll be sampling some washi tapes as I build out my cluster in the top left, because I really do like that Let's Eat sticker or ephemera with the star sticker I've added. And then here I test out some red washi tape, and the red in this Simple Stories collection is very, very unique. So I definitely want to get it right the first time if I can. I also tested out a heart one that didn't work out, and all in all I ended up going with not red at all. I ended up going with pink because it was a perfect match, and I just thought it would work better. And again, bringing in extra pops of color that match your color scheme but aren't necessarily your main pop of color can really, really help, because yellow is definitely the staple in this example, but you'll see as I go in and add more dimension and texture, I'll be adding more of those colors in as we go. And that includes using these adorable Me and My Big Ideas puffy stickers. So there's cameras and there's smiles and there's a bunch of little sayings that I end up using. One of them says to do, that one's red, and it matches really well. And then I end up putting this on some foam adhesive, and I really like the contrast that brings, because if you put something up on foam adhesive, it helps it stand out from the background, not only physically, but since there'll be a shadow beneath it, it does give it that three-dimensional look without it having to be super 3D, if you know what I mean. So here I'm finishing off the bottom cluster by gluing down my pizza and that wonderful ephemera piece, which is from Fancy Pants. Then I wanted to fill in that gap right there between the on the menu section and the pizza, so I found this teal camera, which again matches the color scheme we're going for here. And I do put the title, which just happens to be this little tag from Kaiser Craft, on some foam. There wasn't really anywhere to put a full title on this guy. It was just a busy layout in general. And again, this is a continuation story from the beach photos, although I guess the food happened first. So I don't know how I'll put them in the album, but they do coordinate together and they could read the story as such. Here's where I start adding some more of those clear stickers. Since they're colorized, again, it really helps add a pop of color. So I use a couple of those around my page just to add a little bit more, and also pull in some of the black clear stickers to add arrows and words and accents, again, around the page, because I want it to have a lot of detail to it, because I really enjoy putting in the details. And hopefully you guys enjoy this process video so far. Like I said, I do pull out another stamp set to use, and this is an old basic gray set, which I think is from a collection called Hey You, but I don't have the original packaging. I have it in a CD case now, and all I'm going to do is pull out the numbers for the date, and they have this really nice block lettering for the months, and I really like sometimes when you can read the whole month instead of just it in a number version. And I was really intentional about using these stamps and making sure that they weren't stamped directly on top of black lines that are on the background. So I made sure to space the date evenly, and then when it came to the word, I thought the word was bold enough to stand out on its own, despite there being thin black lines to work around. So I end up spacing the 12 and the 2019 just fine, and then testing the September on a scrap sheet before bringing it to the layout. And again, that is legible just fine on its own. So now that that's in place, I can put away those stamps, and tiny stamps kind of scare me because they're a little bit more hard to control because they are so small, but I highly recommend you guys try stamping a date either with some free stamps like this one where you can customize the date, or maybe a roller date stamp where it's a little bit more structured. Up to you, but I highly, highly recommend you do that as soon as you know the date for your layout. I know that's something I'm working on in my new series, to make sure I'm putting dates on layouts as soon as I get them, but take a word from the wise and don't wait years to put or find dates for a layout. So to finish off this layout, I'm adding some Black Nouveau drops, the Crystal Black, which is the only one that I really love right now. I have two, the other one's neglected because it's not a crystal drop, it's the other type, the pearl What kind is it? I'm not sure. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this process video. Again, we used 4 different types of stamping and made our own ephemera, which is sometimes really necessary. And I know I have food-themed ephemera, which I definitely should have pulled out if I had known where it was, but making my own works as well. Don't forget to check out everyone else linked down below to check out their stamping ideas for this episode. And don't forget to check out the playlist to watch previous episodes. And don't forget to check out the Black Lives Matter resources that I've linked down below for you. But I do hope you guys enjoyed these close-ups and the process video in general. And I really appreciate you taking the time to watch and tune in. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.